A regular expression is simply text. It may contain characters or character combinations that have special meaning. These are called meta-characters. These combinations are interpreted by a regular expression pattern processor. It's very hard to read regular expressions. Unless you're using them constantly, you'll be referring back to regular expression documentation a lot. Don't let the look of them freak you out though. They can be deciphered, and for some of you, they're going to feel like a fun logic puzzle. For the rest of you, however, most patterns you'll need have already been written by the people who do love a good puzzle, and you'll find these with an internet search. You'll probably find multiple patterns for the same task. Like most code, there's never a single right answer. With a little extra curiosity, you'll find the right pattern for the scenario you need it for. On this slide, I'm showing you two examples. This isn't meant to frighten you off, but to assure you that by the end of my regular expression videos, you'll understand what most of these character sequence combinations mean. Don't skip over this section though, because you think you don't want to use them. They are big time savers. You don't always have to write a lot of looping and parsing code. You can use a regular expression to do this work with just a couple of lines of code. There are really good reasons to use regular expressions. You can verify something is formatted correctly, you can find occurrences of patterns in text, you can replace matching occurrences of patterns in text, you can extract matching occurrences from text, and you can split your text by a pattern. With just a few basic meta-character sequences memorized, you can go a long way. This will help take a little of the mystery out of the regular expression. Java has support for regular expressions in different ways. There are classes with methods that take regular expression strings or patterns as parameters. A few of these are string, scanner, formatter, datetime formatter, and duration. There are also special classes in the java.util.regex package to help you implement your own functionality. These are pattern and matcher. I'll be starting out with the string classes methods, as these are probably the easiest place to introduce regular expressions. You've seen the methods on string I'm showing here before. These methods include matches, replace all, replace first, and the overloaded versions of the split method. They can all be used with a string literal that doesn't have any of the special character sequences. You've seen many examples of me doing this already, with split especially. They become very powerful though when you pass regular expression patterns to them. I'm going to start with a new project called Regular Expressions. Regular expressions are used by every programming language, query language and scripting language you could probably think of. We've really been taking advantage of regular expressions without being aware of it every time I use the formatted method or the print method. Let me show you that. I'll create a string called hello world and use a formatted string with specifiers passing that hello and world. I'm going to control click on formatted. You can see that this method delegates to the formatter class's format method, so I'll control click on that. That's an overloaded method calling another, so I can click on that one. Here, a few statements down, you can see the code is calling a method named parse, so again I'll click on that. I'll scroll up a bit. What do you see? It's a private static final string with a very unreadable string literal. This is the regular expression that will be used to match one of the specifier options. Right below that, it's using the pattern class's compile method, which I'll be covering later. The point here is that regular expressions are a universal programming tool. You would do well to just get the basics down, and that's what I want to help you do. Getting back to the main method, let's start by writing our own code to match specifiers in a string. Let's say the formatted method doesn't exist yet. It was introduced in JDK 15, and you might have noticed I like to use it a lot. But there's also the static method format on string that's been around a while. I'll just add a statement so you can see this in use. These basically execute the same code under the covers. I'll print both variables out. If I run that now, I get the same result both ways. The string returned is hello world. Now for fun, let's write our own specifier formatting code. I'll create a method on this class and call it format. I'm going to make this simple on myself and take a string, which will represent a regular expression, and then a variable arguments list of strings. My code's only going to deal with strings as arguments, in other words. To start, I'll just return reg exp. Okay, so you know enough Java to probably code something for this that will replace the %s specifiers with the values in the arguments passed. Let me give you a mini challenge to write this method, using at least one or several of the string methods I showed you on the slides, so use matches or replace first, replace all or split, or a combination of those methods to do what the format or formatted methods do. Don't worry about making up a regular expression pattern yet. In fact, I'd rather you didn't. Remember that the matches method needs to match the entire string, so until you do learn a pattern, it's probably not useful in this method. Just use the string literal %s to somehow replace all instances of %s with the appropriate argument. Pause the video here and give that a try. When you have a solution, come back and I'll show you my solution, and then we'll add a regular expression pattern to that. Okay, so how'd you do? There are numerous ways you could have done this, but I'll use replace first in a while loop. I will start with a variable index set to 0. I will set up a while loop that will continue looping while the string contains the character combination %s. I'll replace the specifier character combination with the corresponding argument using the index, incrementing it with a post-increment operator. Getting back to the main method. I'll set up a third string variable and assign it the result of calling main.format, passing it the same string as before and the same arguments. And I'll print that out. The results from running that code show that it worked, even though all I've done is use a string literal as the regular expression pattern. Did you try to use matches as your while loop condition? Let me show you what happens if I change contains to matches. If I run that. The method doesn't work at all, and I get the original string back. This happens because the matches method tries to match the entire string against the pattern provided. In this case, the pattern is just %s. So it is checking if the entire string is exactly %s and nothing else. Since the string passed to the method is %s, it doesn't match the pattern %s. The matches method doesn't find an exact match, so the loop never runs and no replacements are made. I can make this work by including all characters before and after the character combination of %s in this pattern. Using a period is a way to match on any character except a new line, so you can think of it as a wildcard. I'll add a period before and after %s in my code. Running this code still doesn't work though. That's because the period by itself will match one and only one character. To match all the characters before and after, I need to say how many to match. How do I do that though, when this may vary from 0 to an unknown amount? In this case, I'll use another special character, an asterisk, which is called a quantifier. Let me set this up and then I'll explain it. I'll add an asterisk after each of my two periods. You can think of the period and asterisk combination as matching any and all characters, including no characters at all. In this case, any and all characters up to the first literal combination of %s, then any and all characters after that describes a match for any string that has a %s in it. Running this code now. I now get hello world again, so this confirms the matches code works, matching as long as it finds a %s combination in the string. You've now used your first regular expression containing a meta character combination. In the next video, I'll be covering these symbols and their meanings in more detail as well as many others. See you in the next video.